Let's talk about your student accounts. You have 3 primary accounts. Your computer login when you're using a Wake County computer at a Wake County school, your Wake ID login, and your PowerSchool login. Let's start with the Wake ID. The easiest way to get to Wake ID is to go to your school's website and find the Wake ID icon, or you can simply Google search Wake ID and tap on this first link. To log into your Wake ID portal, you need to first tell it that you're a student. You need to put in your first initial, middle initial, and last name. That is typically the username for your Wake ID. Sometimes you might have a number after your name if you have a very common last name like Smith. And then you need to enter your password. If you're not sure that you've entered your password correctly, you can use this eyeball to take a look at what you've entered. Your password should be the same one that you created last year, but if you can't remember it, always try your student ID number as a default. Once you're logged in, your Wake ID portal should look something like this. First, you have Destiny, which is the library website. This is where you can check your accounts and see what you have checked out. It's also where you can look for books, put a hold on it, and we're figuring out how we're going to get those delivered to you during remote learning. There is an easy link to the school website. And then, of course, email. Email is very, very important, especially in remote learning. You must use your student email in order to email your teachers. There is an email video if you need a little bit more help on how to use your student email. This is Office 365 if you need access to Microsoft products. Google Drive, most of you should be very, very familiar with. If your teachers are using Google Classroom as their learning management system, you can get to it from here. And then Canvas, which is another learning management system that is also accessible from here. The other thing that you need to be aware of is Homebase, which is where PowerSchool is. You do not need to log into PowerSchool separately. You simply need to log into it through your Wake ID. Now you get to this page and you think you have to have another password, but all you really need to do is enter your student ID number and you will have access to your PowerSchool. If you have any problems with your accounts, you can go to the Students tab, tap on Student Accounts, and you can get to that document that I just showed you with all of the help tips for getting into your accounts. It'll tell you what your username should be, what we think your password might be, and if you still have problems, you can try getting a password reset. To get a password reset, you can ask any one of your teachers, but until you have a solid schedule, you can also email one of the librarians. Our emails are on the library page, which is under academics or our school. And you can find our emails right here. You can email one of us, or you can also use our chat box and ask us to reset your password that way. So we've covered Wake ID, which also encompasses PowerSchool. The other account is your computer login. Since we're not currently in school, you aren't going to be really dealing with that right now. And if you're using a Wake County Chromebook at home, you're going to just use your Wake ID login to get in. Once you get back in school and we're using Wake County computers again, you'll use your student ID number to log in and whatever password you had created. If you have password issues with that, again, your teachers will be able to assist you, or you can always come see us in the library. We are always here to assist you, but we also want you to learn how to self-manage your accounts so that you are able to keep track of your passwords and you are able to keep track of all of your information.